Welcome to Top Rare Coins, your ultimate destination for discovering the hidden treasures of history. On this channel, we explore some of the most fascinating and valuable old coins from the United States. From rare pennies and silver dollars to historic coins worth thousands of dollars, each piece has a story waiting to be uncovered. Whether you're a collector, a history lover, or just curious about coins you might have lying around, this channel will guide you through the world of rare US coins, helping you valuable finds and learn what makes them so special. Don't forget to subscribe and join us as before we jump into the script, one important reality check. A 1977 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is extremely common and is not worth $1.2 million under normal conditions. Even high-grade examples usually sell for a few cents to a few dollars, unless there's a rare mint error involved. I'll still give you a powerful, professional script, but grounded in real collector knowledge, which will actually build trust and authority for your channel. YouTube video script. 1977 Liberty 1 cent coin, value, history, and hidden secrets. Today we are diving into one of the most talked about coins in the collecting world, the 1977 Liberty 1 cent. At first glance, it may look like just another ordinary penny sitting in your pocket or tucked away in an old jar. But what if I told you that some versions of this coin could be worth far more than their face value? Let's uncover the truth, the myths, and the real market value behind the 1977 penny with no mint mark. The 1977 Lincoln cent features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has been a staple of American coinage since 1909, making it one of the most recognizable coins in history. On the reverse side, you'll see the classic wheat-free design featuring the Lincoln Memorial, which was introduced in 1959 and continued until 2008. Now, here's where things get interesting. When we talk about a no-mint mark coin, many people assume it's rare or valuable. But in the case of the 1977 penny, a missing mint mark simply means it was produced in Philadelphia. During that time, the Philadelphia Mint did not include a mint mark on pennies, so millions upon millions of these coins were produced. In fact, over 4.4 billion 1977 pennies were minted in Philadelphia alone. That's right, billions. So, if you're holding a standard 1977 penny with no mint mark, it's not rare by itself. But don't click away just yet, because this is where collectors get excited. Even though the coin itself is common, certain conditions and errors can dramatically increase its value. Let's talk about condition first. Coin collectors use a grading system to determine value. A circulated 1977 penny, meaning it has been used in everyday transactions, is typically worth just 1 cent, maybe up to 5 cents. However, if you have a coin in uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used and shows no wear, the value can rise significantly. High-grade coins, especially those graded MS65 or higher, can sell for several dollars. And if you happen to find one in near-perfect condition, what collectors call MS67 or above, it could fetch even more at auction. Now let's move to the real treasure factor, mint errors. This is where ordinary coins turn into extraordinary finds. Some 1977 pennies were struck with errors during the minting process. These errors can include off-center strikes, double die errors, clipped planchets, or even coins struck on the wrong metal. A double die error, for example, occurs when the coin is struck twice slightly off alignment, creating a visible doubling effect on the text or numbers. If you spot doubling on the date 1977 or the word Liberty, you might be holding something special. Off-center strikes can also increase value, especially if a significant portion of the design is missing but still identifiable. The more dramatic the error, the higher the potential value. There are also rare cases where coins are struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the metal disc used was intended for a different coin. These types of errors are extremely valuable and can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and condition. But here's the key takeaway. Value comes from rarity and demand, not just age. Many viral claims online suggest that common coins like the 1977 penny are worth thousands or even millions of dollars. These claims are often exaggerated or completely false. While it's true that some rare coins have sold for huge amounts, those are typically unique error coins or historically significant pieces, not standard circulation coins. Today that claim needs a reality check first. A 1980 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is not rare by itself, and it definitely does not sell for $1.2 million under normal circumstances. Coins from Philadelphia in 1980 commonly have no mint mark, so that feature alone doesn't add value. However, there's still a great opportunity here. If you present it the right way, Focusing on rare errors, high-grade condition, and collector hype, you can still create a compelling and professional YouTube script that attracts viewers and keeps them engaged. Here's a polished 1,200-word script you can use. The 1980 Liberty 1-cent coin might look like just another ordinary penny sitting quietly in your pocket or tucked away in an old jar. But what if I told you that under the right conditions, this small copper coin could be worth far more than its face value? Today, we are diving deep into the mystery, the myths, and the real value behind the 1980 penny with no mint mark, and why collectors across the world are still searching for hidden treasures among these coins. Let's start with the basics. The 1981 cent coin is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the back. This design was used for decades, making it one of the most recognizable coins in American history. Now, when people hear no mint mark, they often assume rarity. But in the case of the 1980 penny, no mint mark simply means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. And here's the truth: millions of these coins were made. Today's video is something truly special, something that might be sitting unnoticed in your pocket, your drawer, or even a forgotten coin jar. We are talking about the 1983 Lincoln 1-cent coin with no mint mark, a coin that has shocked collectors and stunned the market with values reportedly starting from $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, worth over $1 million. Let's dive into the story behind this incredible coin, why it's so rare, how to identify it, and what makes collectors willing to pay such life-changing amounts for something most people would overlook. First, let's talk about the basics. The 1983 Lincoln cent is part of the long-running Lincoln penny series, first introduced in 1909. By 1983, the United States Mint had already made a major change in the composition of the penny. Due to rising copper prices, pennies were switched from mostly copper to a zinc core with a thin copper coating starting in 1982. This makes 1983 an important transitional period in coin history. Now here's where things get interesting. Most 1983 pennies were made of zinc. However, a small number of error coins were accidentally struck using the older copper planchets. These rare copper 1983 pennies are already extremely valuable. But when you combine that with another detail, no mint mark, the rarity increases dramatically. So what does no mint mark mean? Coins minted in Philadelphia traditionally had no mint mark for many years, including 1983. So technically, a 1983 penny without a mint mark is normal if it was made in Philadelphia. However, when collectors refer to a rare no mint mark coin in this context, they are often talking about a specific type of error or unusual striking characteristic that separates it from standard circulation coins. Now let's talk about the real star of this video, the rare 1983 copper penny with no mint mark. Only a handful of these coins are believed to exist. These are error coins that were struck on leftover copper planchets from before the composition change. Because the mint had already switched to zinc, these copper coins were never supposed to be produced in 1983. That mistake turned a simple 1-cent coin into a collector's dream. So how can you tell if you have one? Here's the key test. Weight. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about modern coins in circulation, the 1990 Lincoln 1-cent coin with no mint mark. At first glance, this coin might look completely ordinary. You've probably seen it countless times, maybe even spent it without a second thought. But what if I told you that certain versions of this coin could be worth far more than just 1 cent? Let's uncover the truth behind the 1990 penny, its features, its potential value, and what makes collectors pay attention to it. The 1990 Lincoln cent was produced in massive numbers in the United States. These coins feature the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has been used since 1909. On the reverse side, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, which was used until 2008. Now here's where things get interesting. If your 1990 penny has no mint mark, it means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. For many years, coins from Philadelphia did not carry a mint mark, so this is completely normal. Because of this, millions upon millions of 1990 pennies without mint marks were produced. That means most of them are extremely common and not considered rare. So why are people searching for them? The answer lies in condition, errors, and collector demand. Let's talk about condition first. In coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin that has been heavily used, scratched, or worn down is usually only worth its face value. But if you happen to find a 1990 penny that looks almost brand new, With sharp details, bright shine, and no visible damage, it could be worth significantly more. Coins that are graded as mint state, especially MS65 or higher, can sell for several dollars, and in some cases even more depending on demand. Now let's move on to the real excitement: mint errors. Error coins are what truly capture the attention of collectors. These are coins that were struck incorrectly during the minting process, making them unique and sometimes very valuable. For the 1990 penny, collectors look for several types of errors. One of the most popular is the double die error. This happens when the coin design is stamped more than once slightly misaligned, creating a noticeable doubling effect on letters or numbers. If you see doubling on the date or the word Liberty, your coin could be worth much more than normal. Another valuable error is an off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during minting, resulting in part of the design being cut off. The more dramatic the off-center effect, the higher the potential value. Today's video is about a coin that has been creating massive buzz online, the 1994 Liberty 1 cent, especially versions people claim to have no mint mark or unusual features. Some sources even suggest values reaching incredible amounts, but how much truth is there behind these claims? And could you really have a valuable treasure sitting in your pocket right now? Let's break it down step by step. First, let's understand what the 1994 1 cent coin actually is. This coin belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Cent Series, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. These coins were produced in massive quantities in 1994, with billions minted across different locations. Now here's where things start to get interesting. There are three main types of 1994 pennies based on mint location. Coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark. Coins from Denver carry a D mint mark. And proof coins from San Francisco have an S mint mark. So if you find a 1994 penny with no mint mark, it does not automatically mean it is rare. In fact, it simply means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and over 6.5 billion of these coins were made. That means most of these coins are extremely common. But then why are people talking about them being worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? The answer lies in condition, rarity, and errors. Let's talk about condition first. Coins are graded on a scale from poor condition all the way to mint state perfection. Most coins you find in circulation are worn, scratched, and dull. These are typically worth only their face value of 1 cent. However, if you have a 1994 penny in uncirculated condition, meaning it looks almost brand new with full original shine, its value increases significantly. For example, a high-quality mint state coin can be worth anywhere from a few dollars to over $10 depending on grade. Now here's where things take a big jump. The rarest known examples, graded near perfect, can reach astonishing values. One nearly perfect 1994 penny has been valued at up to around $13,000 due to its exceptional condition and rarity at that grade level. But wait, there's more. Error coins are where the real excitement begins. An error coin is created when something goes wrong during the minting process. These mistakes can include double designs, misaligned strikes, or unusual spacing and lettering. One of the most famous error varieties for 1994 pennies is the double die reverse, where parts of the design appear duplicated. Another sought-after variety is the close AM error, where the letters A and M in the word America are positioned unusually close together. These rare errors can dramatically increase a coin's value. Some have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their condition and rarity. Now let's address one of the biggest myths circulating online. You may have seen claims that a 1994 D penny with no mint mark is worth millions of dollars, even figures like. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about modern coins among collectors and treasure hunters alike, the 1995 Lincoln 1 cent, often called the 1995 penny, with a surprising twist that has sparked excitement across the numismatic community. At first glance, the 1995 penny looks completely ordinary. You have probably seen it countless times in your pocket change. It features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has been part of American coinage since 1909. On the reverse, you will find the Lincoln Memorial, a design used from 1959 until 2008. Everything about this coin appears standard, common, and easy to overlook. But what if I told you that certain versions of this coin are being valued at astonishing prices, starting from $1,200 and, in rare cases, even reaching into extraordinary territory depending on condition and error characteristics? That is where things become truly fascinating. Let's break it down step by step so you understand exactly what makes this coin so special and how you can identify one. First, we need to talk about the mint mark. Typically, US coins include a small letter indicating where they were produced. For example, a P represents Philadelphia, D represents Denver, and S represents San Francisco. However, in 1995, pennies produced in Philadelphia were not marked with a P. This means that a 1995 penny without a mint mark is actually normal for coins made in Philadelphia. So why is there so much hype around the so-called 1995p no mint mark penny? The answer lies in errors and varieties, the real goldmine of coin collecting. One of the most famous varieties associated with the 1995 penny is the 1995 double die obverse. This is where the design on the front of the coin appears slightly doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. If you look closely at the words Liberty and In God We Trust, you may notice a clear doubling effect. This is not damage or wear. It is a genuine minting error. Coins with this double die feature are highly sought after by collectors. Even in circulated condition, they can fetch significant amounts. In uncirculated or mint state condition, their value increases dramatically. Now imagine combining this error with a coin that has been preserved in exceptional condition. No scratches, no wear, and full original shine. That is when the value can skyrocket. Condition plays a massive role in coin valuation. Professional grading companies use a scale from 1 to 70 to rate coins. A coin graded MS65 or higher is considered to be in excellent condition. When a rare error coin like the 1995 double die penny reaches grades like MS67 or beyond, collectors are willing to pay premium prices. This is where the conversation about values starting at $1,200 begins. High-grade examples with strong doubling and eye appeal can command these kinds of prices in auctions and private sales. But let's address the bigger claim, values reaching into the millions. While it is extremely rare for a 1995 penny to reach such astronomical figures, the coin market is driven by rarity, demand, and uniqueness. If a coin were discovered with an extremely unusual combination of errors, perfect preservation, and historical significance, it could theoretically command an extraordinary price. However, such cases are exceptions rather than the rule. For most collectors, a realistic expectation is that a genuine 1995 double die penny in great condition could be worth hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on its grade and visual appeal. Now, you might be wondering, how can you check if you have one of these valuable coins? Start by examining the date and inscriptions on the front of the coin. Use a magnifying glass or a coin loupe for better visibility. Focus on the lettering in Liberty and In God We Trust. If you notice clear and distinct doubling, not just a shadow or blur, you might have something special. Next, check the overall condition of the coin. Does it still have its original luster? Are there visible scratches or signs of wear? The better the condition, the higher the potential value. It is also important to avoid cleaning your coin. Cleaning can damage the surface and significantly reduce its value. Collectors prefer coins in their natural state, even if they show some age. If you believe you have found a rare variety, the best step is to get it authenticated and graded by a professional service.